Man, I've gone grubby. Just grubby, grubby, grubby. So, um, there's got to be something up with Instagram. I tried to go live on Instagram just to kind of mess around or whatever, and it kept saying poor connection and dropping me. And I have the second highest speed that you can get for internet, and I got really good reception with my stuff. So I think there's something up with the Instagram platform. I know some other guys that were um, doing lives and stuff, and we're having trouble getting dropped a lot. So I figured I'd jump over here and see who was out, and just figured I'd hop on and just kind of say, hey, what's up, Lorga? How's it going today? How you doing? Hopefully all is well. No real agenda. Um, it is lunchtime, so of course, and this is what we're known for here too, as well as the snakes. Mass landing. These guys are out of Maine, and just take a read on that. Oh yeah, this is nothing crazy by ABV, but a lot of really good flavor profile in there. Yeah, I know. I mean, I have the capability, so I figured I would just hop on and kind of help some people out with some of the monotony because it also helps me. So we're still shipping. We were able to ship some animals yesterday. We had 4 animals go to new homes, which was great. Portuguese white wine. Yeah, absolutely. Another glass. Cheers. So, um, I did want to we can kind of look at some snakes. And the most recent clutch we can take a look at too. But these guys were one of the last ones that shed, and these guys have been eating like crazy. This is the resurrection gene that I'm working with, or that's what I've called it anyway. So this one here on the left is a pastel lesser yellow belly. Possibly has the resurrection gene in there. There's also tri-stripe in the mix. The father was a yellow belly het tri-stripe, and there's one animal here that just absolutely looks crazy. But you can see how that linking on that top dorsal, that's kind of cool. This is the only female in the clutch. She just has a really, really cool pattern. And then this one over here is a pastel lesser. I think this one has yellow belly as well. But again, more of that cool linking on that dorsal stripe with some funky patterns going on. My most expensive snakes in the room, I could do that. Um, yeah, the toll on the animals, like, oh, hold on. There we go. Yeah, the toll on the animals for sure. Wow. Yeah, I know some of these guys that have been shipping overseas for a while, and I don't know, they've kind of got it down. But these are big dogs that have been doing it for a long, long time, and they've got crates of stuff going. So you have to bear with me here. I'm gonna have to pull out a tub while we do this. Oh well, yeah, she looks like she's going into shed. So this is probably. Let me spin this around. You don't want to look at me. This is probably one of my more expensive girls anyway. We did produce her, but this is a pastel inchy leopard yellow belly pied. She's gonna uh, make some crazy babies at some point here when she gets to size and starts breeding, and just some. It's neat how you get even the saddles are a little bit different all throughout the animal. But, yeah. So when you're looking at an animal and you go like, well, how do you know that's leopard? So this is pretty classic for most pieds to have this line here. And this faint of a line is also an indicator of leopard, as well as this head stamp is pretty classic for pastel inchy leopard, at least from the several that we've made here. But I'm going to put her back. You know, this is quite the challenge to do. Wow, South Africa. Well, thanks for dialing in. I guess this has probably got to be a good timeline for you. I'm about 12:30 in the afternoon. Yeah. So this girl is gravid. She had her prelay shed. This is a sister to the one that you saw before. And this is a pastel inchy leopard ivory 66 het pied. This girl earned the name Minnie a long time ago, and I'll get her to, yeah, she's not happy. We'll get her to bring her head out here. There we go. And she earned the name Minnie because she has the little Minnie Mouse head stamp there. And again, Billy refers to it as like a skull and crossbones. Some people refer to that as a butterfly. But that head marking is pretty typical of like a pastel inchy and leopard, and then now an ivory is kind of really mucking with it pretty good. But there's pictures of her when she was first shed. Nope. She wants some beer. That's not going to happen. When she first shed, that's on my Instagram, and man, she was crazy. I have a pastel, well, he's at least a pastel ivory leopard. I don't think he's a super pastel, but if this is the guy you're talking about, this guy is kind of cool. He is 66 het for pied. You can see there's ringers here, back here. There's another one over here. So, I mean, these are a lot of ringers. I'm pretty sure he'll prove out for pied, but I definitely can't. Oh, you're 20 hours, so 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, so you guys are like 8 hours ahead of us, or 7.5 anyway. That's cool. But yeah, I've had this guy for a minute. His brother was sold. I ended up with 2 of these, and his brother actually had less ringers than he did. But I was really hoping for a visual out of that clutch, a visual male, that is, so that way I could have had that as a breeder. But that didn't work, so they're for sale. Well, I was going to show you the Zuwadi. That's a Fire Zuwadi het clown that's deep in shed, so ain't going to be really much to look at there. But I will show you, I can show you this guy over here. Actually, he's been kind of hiding. What's up, buddy? This guy's pretty cool. This guy here is an Asphalt. He is sold to me as a 66% het for pied, but when I flip him over, there's no guessing with him that he is actually het for pied. But that is the straight Asphalt gene. He was produced from a super Asphalt. And then let's see if we can take a look at this belly. Woo! Look at that. That's just crazy. The orange, even back here. You'd almost want to say that he's pied. It just doesn't have the pied pattern, so it is definitely 100% het. Yeah, yeah. What's up, Leon? Yeah, I picked this guy up specifically for Minnie and a bunch of the Ivory girls that I have. They're all het for pied or pieds. So this is a sister that was intended for. All right, there's my orientation back. So this is pretty cool. You don't see these that much. This is a pastel leopard ivory pied. So that asphalt that you just saw will be going to this girl. Oh, thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. Yeah, I do a ton on Instagram. We're trying to build up the YouTube. I just don't have the algorithm down, and I'm growing really slow. But yeah, this will be a killer pairing once I can get her to size and ready to go. There's more of that butterfly head pattern there. So I don't think there's Enchi in here, but we'll see. What's up, Matt? But yeah, once she sees the asphalt, that'll be just craziness. She looks good. She's doing well. She went off. She hit her wall and went off food, and has, I think, 1 or 2 meals into her. She's just coming back on food, so that's good. Most expensive. I don't want to pull them out. Well, we can see if they locked. Well, hold on, guys. So it takes a little bit with this rickety. All right. So this is a big old het puzzle girl, and that's probably the most. What's going on, Mark? That's probably the most we've spent on a single animal, and that's really a washed out shot. It is not what he looks like at all, but that's a banana orange dream het puzzle from Ozzy that we picked up at the tail end of last year. So he locked a couple times for us when he first got here, and now he's doing nothing. Yep, sorry about that, but we are actually having a PVC rack built by Baller's Garage that will replace one of these. So what we'll end up doing is just taking these tubs off the top. We'll fill that rack over here, and then we'll just use the lower half until we can get another one made. And then those two will replace this whole thing, and that will go in the trash because it's a pain. This girl we haven't seen in a minute. So this is the pastel fader clown. Came from Nerd. She's doing well, growing really good. You see all those like white flames coming up, seeing on a lot of clowns, but almost. But I love the color, the saturation, and she's getting ready to go into shed. Otherwise, she's typically a lot brighter. But she's been housing food and just growing like mad, and that's pretty accurate there. What's up, John? You're the second one on from South Africa. Welcome, guys. I appreciate it. Like I must have to get on early in the morning to pick up you guys over on the other side of the world there. So I just put this into. Oh, she was grabbing a drink. So this girl just laid a clutch of eggs this morning. We had 6 pearly whites from her. She is a butter extreme gene, and she was paired to a GHI leopard that's het pied. I don't expect her to be het pied, but I figured with the extreme gene and stuff, 7 p.m. there. Yeah, I think I'm just about 1 o'clock here, or pretty close. So about 6 hours ahead of us. Yeah, so she laid today. First time girl. And then this is the resurrection gene that I'm working with. So this is the single gene form. She laid 4 eggs for us today as well. This girl here is about 3 days late. The other one was about 2 days late. And I say over 30, so late from over 30, but right on time for them. her eggs came out a little odd. Yeah, that's a interesting question. What like you other countries are doing with all the Corona stuff? 'Cause there's what Russia and South Africa on here. That'd be a pretty interesting poll. So here's a look at another girl that laid for us a little while ago. This is a Enchi Sugar, and she was paired to an Orange Dream Fire. Oh, wow. So you guys are under stay-at-home directions, I presume? Ours have currently been extended to May 20th here in the States, at least in Connecticut, where I'm at. President Trump just indicated that they're going to make the decisions state by state as to when they can start opening. I don't know if that's a smart thing or not. I think it's a financial move for businesses, but I don't think it's necessarily the best move for COVID. This is a Mackenzie. And I think there's something else in here. I've seen other Mackenzies and they don't quite look as good as she does. She was paired to a pastel clown, so I'm looking to get this Mackenzie into the clown. So pastel on top of that ought to be pretty insane. And then get the clown. Yeah, that'll be nice. This girl here, cinnamon. So this will be a prelude for you guys. This is a cinnamon het tri-stripe, and she was paired with a yellow belly het tri-stripe. Saturday night, I'm gonna cut the eggs from that clutch. So I think we have 6 or 7 eggs. So I copycatted Justin Kabelka, but we made our own little breed cards. So when they lay, we'll put the dad, how many eggs, and the date. John, I believe it is a dominant gene. There are Supermax, but I don't believe that they look that much different. But I'm not entirely sure. I have 2 Mackenzies. I have the female, and I have a Mac Fire male. Which we look at my rickety rack. So this is what Mac Fire does, which is just awesome. That's actually pretty accurate as far as color goes. Pinstripe does amazing things with Mackenzie, but for Fire, I mean, you can see how crazy the pattern kind of gets. I mean, it really blows out all the alien heads, spaces it way out. I have a buddy of mine that's looked at the Grimm. I like what it looks like. And I wouldn't mind working with it, but you can only do so much. And the one thing that I have learned is that, I started buying in just all directions because it was stuff I liked, as opposed to trying to focus on a project. And that gets kind of hairy. So this guy here, he is breeding for us right now, but he will be available, or he is available. He's on Morph Market. This is the Pastel GHI Mojave Pinstripe. It's a good look at his eyes. You see all that ghostly pattern there. So again, this is for some of you guys that dialed in a little later. This is what we're drinking here. These guys are out of Maine. Gunner's Daughter. Ooh, milk stout, so it's got that lactose in there. Peanut butter, coffee, and dark chocolate. And for a beer that's 5.5, very, very good. Oh, excellent. Congratulations on that first clutch. So, typically, cheers back. Cheers. Typically, last year we were. I don't think we got our first the past 2 years. I don't think we got our first clutches until it was like June. So we were always so far behind. It is a very good beer, very dark, but to be a 5.5 and have the complexity of an imperial is pretty good. They did a fantastic job on this beer. Uh, oh, 20 minutes from the brewery. Yeah, I love that. I've not had that before. I just picked that up today. Oh, so this girl, let's see if we can. What's going on, Chris? Welcome. So this girl is a, see, she prelay shed on 4-1. So we've got a couple weeks or so for her. But this is an albino het tri-stripe, and she was paired to a yellow belly het tri-stripe. So hopefully I can get some yellow belly tries that are 100% het for albino. That'd be really nice. And we'll come back to this girl. This is the mini, the girl herself. Thank you very much, Rob. I appreciate it. This is probably be my craziest clutch of the season, I think. So again, this girl is a Pastel Inchy Leopard Ivory, 66% het for pied. And from the markers and stuff that she has, I'm pretty sure she'll prove. I'm pairing her to a Pastel Inchy Leopard Yellow Belly het pied. So there could be a lot of doubles in there. Yeah, John, same here, man. That's how she earned her name, the mini ball. But yeah, I've seen some others that are similar, but just don't have like all this striping and purple that she does. But that should be a pretty crazy clutch. Other species that we work with, I do have a single Viper boa, so I wouldn't classify that as working with them. But we do have a super lipstick sun glow boa and an albino male that are to age and are, well, we're trying to pair them. They're just not overly cooperating. So we'll see what happens. Now, this girl is kind of gnarly. She's not very friendly. She's a snapper. She likes to bite. And surprisingly, she's on and off when she eats. But this is a pastel banana. This girl, she threw some weird stuff. Not last year, the year before. She didn't go last year. So we're pairing her to a GHI Leopard, and we'll see if we can throw, or see if she'll throw any, wacky stuff. And then this girl here is just days away from dropping. This is a GHI Red Stripe, and she was put to a Pastel Clown. So there should be some pretty cool stuff, hopefully, that comes out of there. But you can see she is very, maybe if I could turn. Yeah, you can see that she's very, very triangular right here. So she is just days away, and she's just, digging that heat. So the puzzle, oh, they made a mess in here. So this is a puzzle, and this girl here is a Super Mojave pinstripe, possible super pin. And I only say that because her sister did give us eggs earlier this year, and she gave us all pinstripes. So my speculation with her being a super pin, I think it's pretty accurate. We'll find out next year for sure when I breed her again. If I get all pinstripes again, then I'll be good to go with that. Yeah. This is the GHI leopard that I've been talking about that is breeding with several girls. And he also is paired to this girl, which she's starting to look a little thick. This is a pastel GHI Mojave. So maybe some super GHI leopard Mojaves. I don't know, that ought to be pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm hoping so. Thanks. The girl that started it all for me was a pastel GHI that I got from Constriction Addiction. Here's another one that I've held on to. This is a pastel GHI pinstripe. That just, I love. I almost sold this girl. And the more and more I looked at her, I just love the crazy, crazy tight pattern, the way the pinstripe kind of tightens up all these alien heads and stuff. I don't know, just very cool. This girl always shows pretty good. Leopard Lavender, Posset Pied. I have a Blade Clown, Het Lav, Posset Pied that's going to her, if they would just lock. Nope, that's the one thing, John, I don't really have any of is champagne. Not for any other reason. At the time, there was a line of champagnes from Mike Wilbanks called the pumpkin champagnes that I really liked. And they tend to throw like more orange colors and stuff. I just, now that I would want one, I've not been able to find them anywhere. Vanilla Mojave champagne. Yeah, that ought to be pretty good. Oh, these comments go pretty quick. And I can't change my rotation once I'm like this. So like 3 of you guys posted up all at the same time. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get to them. But this is an Orange Dream Extreme Gene. And what did I... And she was paired with that Mackenzie Fire. So Mackenzie Fire, Orange Dreams. What else? Nice Enchi Clown. I put my Resurrection Gene to this girl. So again, building hets, building for the future. We'll see. I think that's about it. I don't have much else. I just figured I'd take about 30 minutes and... What's up, Dave? What's going on? I was just about to close out here. Good to see you on, though. Maybe one of these. Nice little black pastel pied Het albino. Looking pretty good. Simple pastel lesser. Possible yellow belly. I mean, this girl's sold. It's slight, but I wasn't completely convinced, so we didn't label her as having yellow belly. This was the cream of the clutch here. At least a pin pied, possible black pastel pin pied. The more pin pieds I look at, the more pattern they have in their saddles. This girl just really doesn't have the pattern in this. Don't you dare bite me. But the saddle all the way to the left, lower left of your screen looks very black pastel to me. So I don't know. I'm back and forth. We'll see. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. We'll see what happens when she gets big. Thanks, Tarantula Girl. Appreciate that. This is another girl that we held on to. Straight albino pied. is a female. The first year we produced a boy. Yeah. That's the pastel lesser. Yeah, she looks really good. And then as far as other lessers, we were kind of looking at some of this stuff, and I think we ended up skipping these. So these have the resurrection gene in the mix. So it was the clutch was a super pastel lesser resurrection to a yellow belly het tri-stripe. So I believe this is a pastel lesser, which there's still very chocolatey compared to normal pastel lessers. So I don't know if that's the resurrection that's in this or if it's a line of lesser that's doing that. And then when I come over here, this was like the nicest of the clutch. This, I believe, is everything that could possibly be in the mix. So pastel, lesser, resurrection, yellow belly, and I believe this one is Hetford tri-stripe. Just because of the amp and color. Obviously, you can see the color difference. I mean, yellow belly will bring in some color, but not typically that much color, and then change those alien heads that much. Yeah, this is a male, so I'll be able to grow them up pretty quickly and hopefully get them proved out. And then the other two from that clutch are here. The female is on the left. I believe she is everything except for the tri-stripe. I don't think that's in there, which is what's making the difference in the color amp. Again, it's all speculation, but I had 4 eggs and they're all lesser. So hit great odds as far as the lesser goes. The pastel is a given, and I'm trying to figure out this other resurrection gene. But you can see the back pattern on there is kind of wacky. Just like how it's connected in spots and just really, really strange. I mean, lesser doesn't do that. Pastel typically doesn't do that. Yellow belly definitely doesn't do that. So I'm back to like maybe this is the resurrection gene that is doing that. And again, the unfortunate part with this gene is there just wasn't a ton done with it. So there's not necessarily a lot of help to figure it out. So I got work ahead of me, but that's really all I have for today. I'm gonna sign off. I got a couple things to get at. I wanted to thank everybody for hopping on. I really appreciate it, and hopefully Instagram kind of fixes their stuff, and we can do the Instagram lives. But dial back in on Saturday. We will be live here. I will be cutting the cinnamon het tri-stripe to yellow belly het tri-stripe clutch, and see if these two animals prove out for us and we can get some tri-stripes on the ground. So thanks for logging in here, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for all you people in South Africa and Russia and everybody else that's on from any other part of the world. Everybody stay safe, stay corona safe, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.